Okay, aware. This is the Astral Future podcast. Today we have Andrew Kohl and Keegan Oosthuizen, and yeah, we're going to talk about some things.
Yeah, so I thought the first topic we should talk about, where we have learned to listen, or how we listen, and I
Yeah,
was
where did you learn that?
so I was at a party, and we had like a group, and we got like in depth with like listening, and we were just sitting there for like a few hours. And what we were doing is we were realizing that when people listen, you need to focus on using all of your senses. So I really from that point I really started.
Someone said that to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then after that I really started thinking. I started taking notice of that, and and I really noticed that like sight is a really big one with like listening.
Sight. What, like body language?
Yeah.
Because it does portray a lot more than what like normally you can see it. Like there's more going on when you see someone moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also,
So I mean, like, if you obviously you got to listen to what they're saying, but their body language, like, you got to watch that, because body language like plays a large part in what someone's saying.
Yeah. That's why like over a phone it's very hard to express things.
Yes, I hate that.
Yeah.
People hate communicating over the phone.
Because like the gaps in between are just weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess your subconscious is like reading their body language. It's more of a subconscious thing, and then you listening with your consciousness to like what they're actually saying. Yeah. It's the same with typing. Like, they can't hear the inflections in your voice, so it carries differently. Like, however they perceive it when they read it is like going to change the meaning of it for them, because they're in a certain state of mind. They're going to read it like that, and you sense it in your state of mind. So they didn't hear the tone in your voice. So when they read your thing, then
miscommunication.
Yeah, you can't
Mixed
communicate
signals.
as effectively.
Like me, the way I used to read was a little bit off. Like I didn't pick up the same punchline that other people were picking up. Is that sort of what you're talking about? Like if I read something like
voice notes
like,
solve
there's
that.
certain just gaps, or like I ended off too early, or just the way I read it is different.
Yeah, but what's nice is when you're messaging someone like that, you can always go back. Like when I was speaking with them, I also realized like memory was a problem, because we would be like speaking, and then something would distract me, and I'd forget like the last 5 minutes of us learning so well.
Yeah, I also have that like focus problem. Like I drift off sometimes.
So I've been like, you have to like intensively focus on what is being said previously and now, which is
Yeah, like I had this thing happen to me when I was talking to someone like a day or two ago, where I was like thinking of something in my head, and they were talking to me, and then like their words only came in my head like 3 seconds later, and then I had to like think of my reply, and it's been like a 3-second gap, and I was like,
It takes a while when you actually think things through.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying when you're thinking of stuff in your own head and someone's talking, then like you can remember what they said, but you only remember it like because you were like busy with your thoughts. Then you stop thinking, and you're like, oh shit, this guy said something to me. What did he say? Remember it, and then you reply. Yeah.
Sometimes people say,
"I'll like in between because you're processing too much, and then it's like multitasking."
Yeah.
Oh, that is a tricky one.
So, what's your guys' favorite memory?
Favorite memory?
Yeah.
Dude, I literally don't know the answer.
You don't know the answer to that.
I literally don't know the answer to that.
Well, I'll start. Obviously, like I think my favorite, because I got like a few nice memories, but there's my favorite one is me playing golf with my dad.
Yeah. Fuck yes, dude. Was that just a vibe? Was it one time, or was it just like in general like a collection of memories?
I suppose it is a bit of a collection of memories, over like 25 games or whatever, how many we played.
And like just moments that come together and make one like that you enjoy it as a total.
Suppose it's like golf is like really weird, because you like hit the ball and then weird shit happens, and I like would experience that with my dad. Like my first like birdie shot or something like that. I remember I shot my first buck with my dad. That was like crazy. Like,
That is a wild experience, dude. I can't even imagine that, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially the gun
Yeah.
going off, and then you like look and you
Taking
don't
a
know where it
laugh,
is. And
like
it's like,
taking a
holy fuck.
laugh must be like an experience, you know.
yeah. But it's weirdly more respectful. Like, I'd actually go, like, I'm vegetarian now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But, like, I'd actually go hunting rather and do it myself than buy it. At this point, if I was going to go eat again.
Yeah.
Just
And-
because it's more respectful in a way, because you get to know the thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't know the thing, it's just like it's a fair trade of energy.
And we only shoot to
Somewhat.
eat.
It's
Yeah.
not
Like,
just a rabble.
we only shoot to eat, so
Yeah,
we don't like shoot like giraffes or any crazy shit like that.
yeah.
Most of the time, they don't even eat the meat of that. So it's like, why would you even, you know?
People just, but that's where it gets into that trophy hunting. It's just disgusting.
I
To
don't
an
have to.
extent, it's rough.
I don't have to put the blood on my face, and
Yeah.
I have to say, emotionally, that wasn't the most emotional thing when I went hunting. The most emotional thing was when I went another time hunting, and then I like shot the thing, and then I was like alone. And what you have to do is you have to slice the buck's throat open.
Mm.
But what you don't realize is I got a really sharp knife that they gave me. It's my grandpa's knife, and the force to actually do that through the fur, you know, while I'm gripping it.
It's not just
Yo,
that
yeah.
dragging
It's
motion.
something like where you're like, fuck. You know, that was something where I was like, because you're a bit detached when you like shoot something.
Yeah, but when it's there in your hands, like I know the one time one of my cats jumped through the gates as it was closing, and it closed on its head, and it was like lying there like fucking out. So I knew that I had to like take a spade and like cut its head off, you know. But I literally like just couldn't bring myself to do it. I knew that was the most humane thing to do, and that's what I should do. But like it was too hectic. I couldn't, so I just put it in my car, drove to the vet, and I put it out. I like literally couldn't do it, which is fucked up.
Rat as well, dude. I once walked outside and I just saw this thing like heavily breathing, dude, and I couldn't do it. Like eventually I did.
Couldn't kill.
But it took me like 5 minutes to be like, fuck.
Yeah, to take a laugh,
Dude,
like
it's
you don't
fucked.
think
Like,
about it until you have a laugh in front of you to take, like, and
it's
it,
already dying. It's just suffering. So like,
yeah, that's the right thing to do is to kill it. Yeah,
it's crazy.
but it's hard.
It's crazy.
And that's like another thing is it's like you can like think of something and how it'll be in your head, but until you're like actually there doing something, like, and like even if you know it's the right thing to do, like the emotional side of it is hard to like get through to actually get yourself to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people back out while they're doing that. For that sort of thing, like hunting trips. Or is it more like
Look, if you go there for hunting, you know,
like
you're either gonna know you're gonna
thing
shoot.
Maybe that like you kind of get there and then you kind of have to really.
Look,
Once
there's
you
like
sign up.
there's some people who didn't hunt, like older people who couldn't hunt, like, you know, but like you know, people would go out hunting and then you'd like come back and then get super drunk and bra, and then, you know, you'd have some meat.
Yeah.
And then depending on whoever shot their first thing, you know, you eat the raw liver, or if you eat the male, you eat the balls of them. Yeah, that's first time you know. Luckily, my dad told me.
I know that tradition.
You go for females, boy, no horns. So,
Wait, why? Sorry, I missed that. Why do the horns?
because horns are male, so then you shoot first time,
And then you have to eat the
balls.
balls.
I was liver.
So you avoid that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather eat like what do you eat on the female? Don't you eat like a kidney or something? Liver, yeah.
I ate it raw.
And
Tasted like a little bit of biltongi.
yeah, I could eat a fucking liver.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the liver is like the dirty organ, so
Ugh.
yeah.
That's not nice.
Filtration
I feel
system.
worse about that.
Yeah, but that's why they make new hunters do it, because that's the tradition, to do something like fucked up, you know. Eat the balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roast them up. Yeah, we used to get fucking drunk, eh? Yes, yeah, old toppies used to. Yeah, but they always used to go on the tracks. I used to go track in the forest and everything. And I have to say, there was one time, I remember me and my dad like stalking. Because you literally, you can move a little bit and then the bucks are off, gone. And we're stalking, and my dad's flipping good, eh? He shot a buck like 250 meters.
Yeah. That's fucking far.
A springbok in the head.
Yes,
but he was like in the army, so he obviously trained a lot shooting rifles and shit. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd have to say,
It requires a lot of precision now. I've spoken to a guy actually about hunting before, and like just like angles, degrees, how much the wind contributes, how much distance contributes, like the amount of detail someone like goes into for that is quite incredible actually.
No, it is. Even the angle especially is a bit of a weird one, because even your bullet flies up for a little bit, depending on where your scope is lying, what you blinded into. So if you shoot down, it actually just goes up more, and then you go over it. Like, where did I shoot?
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's something I experienced. Ricocheting bullets, a real thing. You can even hear it. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Ricocheting off a rock. Ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, I want to see if this bullet will ricochet off. He's like, it's dangerous. I'm like, please, I'll hit the shot. I'll hit the rock. I'm not going to shoot in the direction. He ricocheted.
Bad idea.
Yeah, it was crazy.
What is that?
An alarm.
A random alarm.
It's time. Yeah, so what other crazy memories I've had? I mean, I've had some weird encounters like at trance parties.
Yeah.
Not like at like festival ones, like at like jaw, like at nightclub ones. Ooh.
Like?
Just like weird looking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're friendly. So I mean, it's like, well, if they are comfortable, then I can be comfortable. So why not?
Yeah.
And then it's like you build like a thing, you know.
Yeah.
What would you say is one of your favorite?
Yeah, we're on the topic of memories.
Just quickly making sure this thing doesn't make another alarm.
Dude, you know, it's one of my most like hectic memories.
Yeah.
Speaking about you said getting drunk. The like second time I ever got drunk, I was 14, and that's when I got the scar on my arm. It's like you won't be able to see it in the camera, but it's like this huge scar here across my left arm. Yeah, that was me. So like the memory I have is like I was like just running, like I was running away from my friends because they like were trying to calm me down or something, and then I just remember pulling my arm out of a window that I'd like fallen into because I like blacked out. Ooh. And there was just like blood pissing from my arm. And then like my friend came and like lifted me, Matthew came and lifted me up to like stop the pressure of the blood. Yeah, that's like, I remember looking, feeling no pain, but just being like, fuck, like what have I fucking done to myself?
Adrenaline is a crazy thing when it's active.
Yeah.
And also alcohol on top.
Yeah, alcohol and adrenaline, I felt nothing. So like, thank goodness, but like, yeah, when there's like a huge hole in your arm, like fuck, you're like, jeez. And I'm 14 and drinking, you know, it's like, what is my mom gonna fucking say?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, a lot of us actually started drinking quite young. It's quite hectic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got.
But I think it's just an environment thing that we were just in, that it started early.
Well, you guys, yeah.
I was like 13 or 14 when I started drinking, you know?
Yeah, I was 14.
Well, my dad, I asked my dad.
Probably stunted some of my brain cells.
Really?
Yeah, the way I drank, it definitely did for me.
Exactly with weed as well. It's one of those things that if you start before you're 18,
yeah,
it messes with your
all
brain.
drugs, you like, yeah, and yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I got drunk the first time when my dad. I asked him when I was like 12 or 13, one of the two. And I was like, Dad, what's it like to be drunk? He's like, okay, I'll show you.
Yeah.
But you've got school tomorrow, so the rule is when you get drunk, you have to go in tomorrow. That's the first rule.
Yeah.
So he got me drunk and he gave me like 3-4 shots.
Yeah.
Like a beer.
Yeah.
Dope that was great.
You went to Faramir, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also in Faramir.
I was pumping it, getting it. I was happy, loving it. And then I puked within like 2 hours of drinking all that liquor.
Hey,
my dad was like, yeah, this is liquor. So my dad taught me all the lessons all in one night. Then I had to go to school and not tell anybody that I was on a hangover.
Yeah. I know, that was a lesson I had to learn the hard way. I literally used to drink myself to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to buy like the cheapest alcohol you can get, papsach, or like beer.
Ooh. Exactly,
yes, he did. And the hangover you get from that shit, yo. And we would like always drink way too much. So we go to a party, there's like a whole fucking great night ahead, but like 9 o'clock I'm in bed because I've drank too much. And that's the whole party.
Yeah.
Your wine destroys.
Yeah.
One glass. I actually like just one.
Yeah. Also, like what you're saying there, though, is like, what I used to dislike about alcohol is that, like, I used to like it because I'd go out, I'd have fun, but then I'd always have like blackout stages.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 hours of where I don't know what happened, and then that's hard, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I was apparently active, like functional. Even at Ham's house, your birthday.
But you didn't remember.
I don't remember like the last 3 hours of that. I was just doing shit apparently. Like, I was apparently quite functional. I was having conversations with people like and shit for a while, but then I don't know. So like alcohol kind of like is blackout juice, dude. Like
Yeah,
Blackout
can
juice.
be. Yeah.
It's not jungle juice anymore.
Back in the day, it used to be jungle juice. Now
Oh,
it's
shit.
blackout juice, dude. Nah, dude, it's just.
But
I don't know,
alcohol's
it just
bad.
doesn't work well with me.
Alcohol's a
I
bad
prefer
drug.
smoking weed much more.
Oh.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, alcohol is just a very bad drug. I don't even understand why it's
Yeah.
legal. If you
And it's
if
very,
you
very
look at
bad
it-
for your body, eh? It damages like all your organs.
Yeah. And it's
No, I wouldn't ban it completely because
the thing is
That's
how many
gonna just
people
cause
actually
more
know how
issues.
to
You need to
protect
license
themselves?
that shit, at least a little.
no, yeah,
I know
well,
it sounds like bad.
no, most people do. If you go to a club or like a bar, most of the people are fine. It's
There should
just
be
like
no heart
us,
attack.
you know.
Maybe no heart attack.
Only
yeah.
beer. Only a certain percentage of the liquor.
Yeah. Because I think
6%.
maybe that's just the point of people get too trapped. Because there's a certain time of night as well where you can see like when you go out where people start fucking out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why like
if
some
you're
places
sober, dude,
close
I've been
their.
sober driver so many times and I've seen the stage so many times. Like, sober, like when you're drunk, you don't care. When you see it sober, you're like, everyone wants to fuck out right now.
Yeah, nothing good happens past 2.
Hey, everybody. That guy on the tables.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But there's been some good times though, so I can't complain. Yeah.
That is
As
true.
alcohol goes.
In moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
moderation.
But always when you're around friends, there's no moderation.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Why is it always a competition? Does it sometimes feel like that?
For me, it was never that. It was just for me, like, I didn't used to drink that often. So when I did drink, I'd be like, okay, I'm drinking today. But then I wouldn't put a limit on myself.
Mm.
And I'd drink myself to the ground.
Yeah.
That was kind of my influence. But I don't know, peer pressure is also a big one for some people. Like, also, like, now, since I've stopped drinking a lot, there's some people who go out and they're like, shot, and they'll be like, nah. And they're like, oh, bro, you're killing the vibe. And you're like,
Yeah. what
Yo,
the
no.
fuck?
shit.
If someone says I'm killing the vibe, I'll be like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like, some people like to drink in groups.
Mm.
yeah, it's a very social,
It is, yeah.
People do-
social drug.
People do different things when they're in groups, though. So they get more persuaded by societies.
Yeah. People do get right in groups.
Yeah.
What do you think triggered that, though?
It's just something that's like, well, if you think about it, if you go with the group, then you're with the group. But if you go against the group, then you're not with the group. Then it's one against the group. Maybe it's like a survival. Sometimes that's how I think about it. But it could be like something in our
some
social.
people
And
don't
also-
wanna lose it, so they stay in.
Dude, you know, that's another thing is like for me, like I used to
Yeah.
have social anxiety in the past. So if I'm in a group of people, like to cope with the situation, I use alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could test it. I
And
mean,
does it
what
work?
if?
What? Yeah, no, alcohol like
Does it make you, like,
alcohol
feel
lubricates-
like it's working?
no. Well, yeah,
Well,
that,
like
sometimes,
seriously.
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But like alcohol, it generally lubricates social situations. You know, it makes like it lowers your inhibitions and shit. You're not overthinking or whatever.
Fair enough. It
Yeah.
can make you a little bit more comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's lit. Yeah, it does.
Mm.
Yeah, around people.
Yeah. Then also, like, you guys wanted to talk a little bit about, like, music as a, for you, Cole.
Yeah.
Music is like an exploration of yourself or something. What?
Yeah. No, I was saying that I use music as a tool. Yeah. So like what I do is like I'll like sit in my room, for example, and like whatever music I'll like dance in my room, sitting on my couch, and try and like keep in time with the music, or like have like movements that are expressing the music properly. And like I'll be like thinking while I'm doing this, and like the closer, what I notice if I'm thinking about something that doesn't really make sense, then I'm not able to keep in time with the music properly. But when my thoughts are like coherent, then I'm starting to flow. So like flow properly with the music. So what I do is I try and find like what is like the truth, or what is like the right way to think about something or whatever. Like if my idea works, but like seeing if while I'm thinking about that idea, I'm keeping in time with the music. If I am keeping in time with the music, then that indicates to me that what I'm thinking about is like true, you know, like the better I'm keeping in time with the music, the more like true the idea is that I have in my head. So
you think you
if I'm
like resonating at a certain space and you can stay in it.
It's like if I'm thinking 1 + 1 is 3, right? That's wrong. So then I won't be able to keep in time with the music, right? But then if I think 1 + 1 is 2, I notice my body starts keeping in time with the music, because that is like true, that 1 + 1 is 2. So then I'll think, okay, so the second thought I had, 1 + 1 is 2, must be true because I'm able to keep in time with the music.
Oh, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can only keep proper flow when what I'm thinking about is true or coherent.
And is
Right.
music helpful with that, like in general?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Also music for me, like I always play music when I'm studying. I can sometimes pinpoint, like, oh, I was listening to that song when I was going through that, and I can sort of remember that word.
Yeah, I mean, that's another way that you can use music as a tool, I
I'd read
guess.
through it, and then I'd hear the beat in the background as well. Well, and then I'd remember things a little bit better.
Yeah,
Music.
yeah.
So it's something a little bit like that, but it's quite different still.
Yeah. I mean, that's another example of like you using music as a tool, you know? Yeah.
It is very useful though. Just for Gears as well, the drum and bass for me, dude, I literally turn on a song in my car, just go drum and bass and make it.
Yeah.
I can be headbanging in 5 minutes, dude. Cause yeah, dude. And you?
What do you say, Fish?
Yeah.
I actually forgot. Yeah, I got lost in thoughts. Yeah. What was the topic?
Music as a tool, or I don't know.
Music as a tool.
Yeah.
What we can even go into.
I use it as a bit of a tool.
Yeah.
When I'm like listening to like at work and stuff, I like to listen to a bit of trance. Keeps like the energy high.
Yeah.
Because it's always going. Yeah. I also I attach memories to music. I don't know if you experience that.
A little bit.
Where you would like listen to something and then you would like remember and you'd be like, oh.
Like nostalgia.
Yeah, especially.
I thought that's what you were saying. When you're saying that when you.
It's like, mine's a little bit with information more than memories.
Information.
Well, you remember the information.
Somewhat. Well, I guess I'm just putting different like boxes of memories, I guess.
Yeah.
Like some people would say memories like, oh, when I listened to this song, it reminds me of when I was back doing this and this and this and this. But I can remember like certain information I was exploring while listening to that.
Yeah.
Not what was going on in the other place. So it's a different like space
Yeah.
of memory.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But it is still memory,
Yeah.
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 And then if you had to guess where thoughts came from, well, while you were thinking, I just thought of that as like thoughts, bro.
I mean, I kind of know
Process.
it's like electrical signals. I would think so. I know it's like that, but I mean, like, you know, it's weird because I believe in like science and everything, but there's a lot of stuff that just kind of leads me back to God in a way. Because if you think about it, if you believe in science, you have to believe in the pattern of what happened or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, science is the study of patterns and just
Yeah.
being able to repeat them.
We're just looking at the pattern of what's going on around us. And if that pattern is that pattern, then the future stuff has to go that pattern. Even if we are
that's science is exactly that. It's like they make a prediction and they say if this and this happens, then this is the result. So and then if it is the result every time you test it, then you know that is true.
Yeah,
that's how the process of science works.
So then, in a way, if you think about it, you kind of have to either choose: am I making my own choices, or is everything predetermined?
I believe you.
Bit of both, I'd say.
Completely free, you make your own choices.
No, I mean like. There's obviously influences, you know.
Yeah,
you're gonna make your choices based on like what you've learned growing up and and like how your brain works and.
Fair enough, but I also believe in complete freedom. Let's say once you start driving your car, you know how to drive your car.
Yeah.
Like, so there's some points where you can.
Yeah, you can
navigate things a lot better.
But what if that's...
Yeah, okay, no, I hear your analogy. I feel the same way when I'm driving my car. It's like, yeah.
But what if that's just the pattern of the universe and that specific number in green lights that in this one, when it exploded, okay, on this earth, you are the good driver who makes the right turn and the left turn in those 3 seconds. So, yes, it feels...
No, but the thing is,
no,
okay, well, maybe it's a little bit distracting.
But I know what you mean. Like, if you have to decide to either go to McDonald's and KFC, and then you go and you drive there, and you go and do McDonald's, and then you go there, and then the McDonald's is closed.
That what?
Where do you go?
So the other option, KFC.
Is that God? Is that God? See, that's what it is.
I'm telling you, like, you probably shouldn't have tried that shit today, boy.
Because I mean, like, if you believe in the pattern of science, then it's almost like blind faith in the pattern.
No, it's not blind because you've tested it and you see that it works every time you fucking test it.
Factual to an extent.
We're blind still.
So much of the
We're still blind.
Or I can only measure so much of the reality.
Through a human lens into like technological lens.
But if you can't measure it and you can't sense it in any way, then like fucking it doesn't matter because it's not influencing us.
No, you're wrong.
If it does influence us, science can measure it.
Something can exist, but you can't measure it.
Like,
Something can exist, but you can't measure it.
Yes, but I know what I'm saying is it's irrelevant to us because it's not going to do anything to us. So why even worry about it? It's like if there's other shit that it exists that we can't interact with or see or anything, then.
So what? Let's say like quantum physics in a way or something like, or quantum mechanics, or like. If you look that deeply into yourself, when you start banging those particles together, you're like, I also am those at some point. So you go,
you're all the same.
Yeah.
You also like energy, like or bacteria or molecule, like you all of these things as or tissues and shit. Like there's so many more things that go on. We can't tell you what they are, but like no one can make it happen again. No one can. Like, and there's probably further levels you can go as well that we can't see. But like you can choose to exist as this is my human form now. Here's my face, here's my this.
Yeah.
Or you could choose to exist in a fucking subatomic form. You exist in both at the same time.
You can't. What do you mean you can choose to exist in a subatomic form?
You exist in both at the same time. It's all your choice. Like, dude.
Well, there's
the way you like. Yes, yeah.
What it is. It just depends on what your tag is for what that is.
Yeah, no, yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
It's a confusing.
It's good to like acknowledge both, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing is, we exist as part of the universe as well at the same time. As small as we go, big we go. We are the universe as well.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the individual experiences of the universe, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the loop.
The loop. Okay.
The loop, yeah. So.
What's your view of the loop? Dude?
What is the loop?
It's kind of like the infinite universe paradigm thing.
What that like
this
there was
happen.
the Big
That's
Bang,
the pattern,
and then it goes
time.
back in, and then
it does the same pattern, but maybe a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And that would
Every
reset.
time will be slightly different.
Maybe it's exactly the same because it hits exactly perfect. The atoms, because they come together, every one of them, and it does the same pattern. Because why would the pattern be different if it's exactly the same? Because if you think about it.
Because it reforms in a different way.
The way I think about it is the whole universe is a big magnet.
I see what you're saying.
It's a magnet.
Okay.
So we've got stuff that's, you know, when you push stuff away from magnets and stuff. So that's happened, created fiction and then explosions. So it's kind of like, well, what if you had the biggest attraction force get together and then go through each other? So it's so much attraction that it's like infinite gravity that the atoms go through each other, like through each other somehow. And when they go on the other side, it's that exact force but opposite.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's what's shooting us.
It may loop on forever, but it had to have started somewhere, right? Because it can't just have existed forever. Like it had to. Things had to have a start.
I think aliens are testing, smashing atoms, and we like the loop in the loop. We're doing the same thing, and that's what they see. Because time is relative, so for them it's like that thing lasts for 1 second. They're smashing atoms, and then it hits in that exact pattern and creates a pattern, and that's our life pattern. And we're doing the same thing maybe here. And we look at it and we're like, that was a cool light. That was a green and a blue one. What happened there? It was all in like 4 seconds or whatever. And that's a whole universe.
Well, yeah. Well, human existence is in like 4 seconds of the universe or something. Like if you're doing like scale or something in a minute or an hour or something.
So I mean, I think.
But also, like back with that is like as far as the loop goes, I don't believe it's closed.
It's definitely not closed now, but it's like.
No, I believe like there's complete freedom beyond the loop as well.
Like you can
Like
leave the universe.
Thing, yeah. Well, you don't have to disconnect either.
Okay.
Which is the weirder part. If you disconnect, you end up getting lost in the universe. If you stay connected, you can stay breached to it in a way. It's confusing to try and put that in words.
Okay, but why do you think that happens?
I think it's evolution, dude. I think there's certain beings that have transcended 3D, dude.
Why?
Because there's only one of the perspectives of reality.
But I'm saying, like, what have you like seen that made you think, we can transcend reality?
Well, I've had weird experiences in my life that have like kind of clarified my views on that.
Okay, like,
so let's say with astral projection, I've left my body completely.
okay,
But then that's not even the most hectic one I've experienced. But the other one, I'd love to tell you what it is, but I literally can't.
why?
There's no words. Like there's some that.
Sounds like a DMT experience.
No,
like
dead sober, dude. That's the.
No, I know. Like, I'm saying, yeah.
So
you can achieve psychedelic states in sober mind.
There's some
So
part where you can separate and realize the oneness of the universe, and the rest is just.
no, yeah. I guess if you've had an experience where you did that,
Yeah.
then that explains why you would think that is the case.
Yeah.
Which was what I was, just trying
But
Was it
to
scary?
find out.
Yes and no, dude. There's a little bit of both. Depending, like at the beginning, yes. After I knew what I was doing.
Do you understand what you're seeing?
Yes and no. Yes, I saw something. No, I don't know how to put it into words.
Okay.
But even like there's some weird experiences in life that I'm sure a lot of people have had that they can just be like, no, that's weird, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of
What
weird.
is that?
Dude, I also have a lot of weird beliefs that are defined by like
When
these
did that
crazy,
happen?
like these weird experiences that I've had as well.
When did you have any? I'll tell you my experience.
Yeah,
So like when I met Abby,
yeah.
I met her in the first week, and then I dropped, and then I met her, and then she slapped me, and then next week, different group of friends slapped me. Well, she didn't slap me there. The first one she slapped me, then the next one. So it's like
This is the second time you met her. She slapped you.
Second time she didn't slap me.
Okay.
Second time she didn't talk to me. Remember we were at Chan's house and you.
Wait, why
Remember I dropped and then you came to get me to roll.
Why did she slap you?
Because I tried to touch your hair. I did touch your hair.
Yeah.
Because I was growing my hair back then. So I was trying.
Well, that was majestic your hair back then. Dude.
Yeah. And I touched her hair and then I was like, I never want to see that chick ever again.
Yeah. I guess, like, to some extent, that could be like inappropriate in a way.
Yeah, it could be seen as weird. I understand why she slapped you, but
it
also
starts to get weird to the point where you guys were actually vibing and ended up dating to where you are now.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was a thing because the hair was fake.
I could see you as a person like not many people are able to touch someone's hair in a non-weird way. I think you can do it. You can pull it off. Like if I did it, it would be weird, but you can pull it off.
But it
That's
would
what
look
I'm
weird.
saying.
Yeah, true. It's had weird.
She slapped you, I understand, but yeah.
Yeah, and then the next week, different group of friends met her again.
and different vibe altogether.
Yeah.
And then, when did you start
How do you explain
dating? Because it's a different time you met. Obviously, it's a different fucking scene.
that? Yeah. No, but different friends.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. You know, your friends influence you. We were just speaking about this, you know?
Yeah. Maybe we just shit people back then.
Yeah, the first time, yeah.
What other stuff? I've had crazier. So I've lost stuff. We just like portaled.
Trap doors in the
Gone.
universe. It's embarrassing to try
And I was like, what is going on? And I was like fucking out. What other weird stuff? Oh, I get some crazy shit with tunes because it's like we like the Doppler effect. We'll do like some weird, trippy shit where we'll do like opposites.
Well, like quantum entanglement, like some points you guys are.
I don't know. Like you could maybe call it that. And that's the only way I could even think about explaining it in a
It's
scientific
like there's
way.
somewhere, like some point of tether between the two. Where you go,
Yeah, that's kind of like almost what
Yeah.
me and Abby, in a way. Yeah. With quantum entanglement myself so much that it's just we see the moon at the same time. But even means against. Shit. Yeah. I'm trying to think but you need to understand. See, like me and him can understand. Because
But that's the thing is when you chill with
see the
someone
signs.
often, you can begin to understand a language with each other that isn't like common to other people. Like you begin to understand trapdoors and you understand how much someone else knows, so you can either elaborate on information or start at the beginning. Or
Yeah.
so there is completely different ways you can communicate like that as well.
Yeah, that's also learning a part of listening, I would say. It's learning the person over time and then and you can probably have more conversation.
Yeah, you start to get each other.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
And then you vibe a lot better and then you can pinpoint a lot more things when you're having conversation.
Yeah, like
Not eliminate the awkward part when you know someone is not awkward anymore.
yeah.
I have to
And
say,
any relationship is like that, you know, like you get better at being around each other in general. Like the
over time,
more
you just get more
over
comfortable.
time.
you run out of stuff to talk about.
No, we didn't.
No, when you're in a relationship, it's gonna happen.
Oh, you run out. Sorry, I misheard you. You run out of stuff to talk about. Yeah.
So I think that's what it's about. It's about.
But like then you start to learn like to be around each other without needing to talk and things like that.
Yeah. Then you get what's called comfortable silence.
Like Kayla, like I had this with Kayla. We could just like go to a restaurant and then we sat and we ate our food like the whole time, but like it was enjoyable. We just like sitting there. Like from the first time I met her, I was always like dead comfortable with her. Where like no matter what we were doing, like we just did it. So it wasn't like much thought about like, oh fuck, should I do this? Should I do that? We were just that is like the best quality I would say in our whole relationship was that.
Yeah.
Just this ease of being around each other.
Yeah. Comfortability is huge. It's hard to find someone to be that with.
Yeah.
Even me, I struggled, dude.
Yeah.
But I haven't really like looked around in a while. But like even back when I was looking for a relationship, like people are also different.
Yeah.
Like people could be somewhat similar in the way you might think of them at first, and then when you actually start to experience that person, it's completely different altogether.
Yeah. And the more like different they are to you, the longer and harder it's going to be to like connect with them and be comfortable around them.
Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's weird.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it depends on a lot of
personally,
factors.
I like the nervousness of it.
Yeah.
Because like normally I'm actually quite comfortable, so for me to get nervous, it's actually quite a vibe, dude. So
New experience. That's so
dude, so I'm
trippy.
keen on it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
That's interesting.
Also, before you were interrupted there a little bit, you also started talking when you did about some experiences.
What experiences?
Like there's some weird shit that you've experienced in life.
Fuck.
If you can recall.
Yeah, no, I just don't know. I don't know what I had in mind.
Like my dad's wallet getting stolen by a meth head. His whole thing when he was about to go to the UK.
What?
Yeah. Didn't actually help my mom. Because she would have been stuck here for another 6 months. Because they got delayed.
The university that stopped.
Yeah.
The
I was there.
universe can talk, bro. I'm a strong believer that the universe or the cosmos as not a specific physical being, but as a general being. It has thoughts, it has emotions.
Dude, I'll tell you this.
It's a very active existence. It's not just a thing.
Jared, I'll tell you this. There's something or some being or some multiple beings. I don't know how many, but I talk to there's this voice that I hear
different things.
They call it reading in between the lines. So it's I hear it in between. So it's I'm watching a music video, right? And they're singing songs and lyrics. And I hear that it's this girl singing her songs about something. But it sounds to me like that those lyrics are coming from some other being. And they have a different meaning coming from that being than to what they're being sung about. Something that I'm thinking about in my head. And it's I can always hear this fucking someone talking to me through people, through TV and whatever. And it's communicating with me using their words. And it's understand them in this way. And I don't know, what it is,
I don't know, even for me.
But I know it's there's this personal something that I can hear and sense.
That's a weird thing as well. For me, is I used to have a lot of chatter. With weird I don't know, I thought I was possessed at a point.
Okay.
But yeah, I used to have a lot of chatter going on. But then when you actually learn how to eliminate that,
chatter as what, thoughts in your head?
Things talking. It's
not
just me.
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird. But once I learned how to eliminate those and actually still presently, I don't know if I'm more in tune to weird spaces or something like that, but after that I learned how to communicate a lot better with the universe. Because I could clearly see what was not my vibe and what is. So after that, I started to understand it a lot more, but now it doesn't, I don't actually hear voices or anything I say, but I can see sound and read sound. Read the universe in a way.
Okay.
But it's not actual words.
I see sounds in fucking everything. I'll see a word. Fuck, I don't have an example, but I'll see a word and it's a label or something, and then I'm okay. One time I had this idea in my head of a working theory of something, and then I look at the pool and there's the HGH bottle and it says clear, it works, and that's just the HGH slogan. Yeah. But when I read that, I was the thing I'm thinking about clearly works. Yeah. That's how I interpreted that. So I see signs in that way, in the universe, fucking everywhere.
It's weird, dude. Even the other day, I was about to read this one book. I was hey, I need to read this book. I was told to read this book, so I'm keen to read this book.
Yeah.
And then I just went to Jordan's house.
And I saw this water.
And then I was going to read it, and I got home and I got to his house. He was talking to me about another book he just finished reading that I wanted to read. He's like, hey, bro, read this book.
Yeah.
So we swapped books. He read the one that I was going to read. And now I'm reading the one he was reading. Well, he finished reading. Just because, it's weird that in that day, I wanted to specifically go towards that book, and then something pulled me away from it and said, no, go here first, and then go back. It's weird.
Yeah. And then, as you were done, you could then read the other book.
Well, not yet. I'm still reading this other one.
I'm saying. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fuck. When I get it back from him, yeah. But it's weird how, sometimes it could be me just being crazy, putting tags on things and, thinking everything is.
In the pattern.
Or in the pattern, yeah.
This is the
pattern
path.
It could be me just reading the pattern, or it could be me trying to explain it.
I've given a lot of thought to this, and dude, the final conclusion that I've come to is I'm actually seeing things that are signs and whatever. Okay. I've fucking gone to literal mental institutions where for thoughts like this in my fucking head, and I see a psychologist. So I've just tested it all out, and my conclusion is. There's fucking some signs
I don't think the voices are bad.
I've had bad ones, so I think some can be bad.
Okay.
I don't know, but they are some that are just chill. They're not trying to do anything to you at all. It's your choice completely.
Some are hopeful.
They're just there. But it's not something trying to influence you.
Dude, let me tell you about an experience I had.
But that's the weird one for me. Dude. Also in my life,
they are influencing you.
I've thought about psychological help a lot, but somehow I've managed to keep my shit together doing it like this. I don't know if I'm 100% because I am self-diagnosing myself, but just finding ways to clearly look through things until I can develop my own understanding and move with that is more comfortable for me. Like, I just accepted that shit was weird.
Yeah.
And moved forward, and then the rest, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, but I've thought about psychological help before because I was fucking out full on at the stage and I didn't know how to put this into words.
I think that's a powerful tool, acceptance. I think after that you must have felt better, even able to control. Because now you just have to live with the voices. Now it's like, well, this is acceptance.
Yeah.
Then you obviously
well, that's the thing is I
gain
started
control.
getting rid of them once. The thing is I was denying something existed. But then once I was like, okay, here's this thing.
Yeah.
I could start being like, okay, what is that? And then get rid of it. Instead of being like pulling away and being like, no. It's a very weird one because everyone like would deal with these things differently.
Yes.
So I don't actually know the way. I've just found a way that works for me personally with navigating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's like, dude, I'd see a psychologist, and one thing she says for me, she's like, let's not get into diagnoses and this and that. She's like, if it works for you and it's helping you, that's what is important.
That's
because if it is, then
you know what was, because I was reading some psychology books and I was thinking, so you train these psychologists to look for things. But what if they're looking for things that aren't there? And then you diagnose this person, so then you diagnose them, so then you encourage that behavior.
Yeah.
Now you diagnose them, you say, well, this is obviously schizophrenia and you're schizophrenic, so now this is going to be you. And then now the acceptance and you go more into it.
Everything with that as well, which is confusing for me.
Yeah, and like if you search for something hard enough, you can probably find it in places, you know.
So I don't want to like, because there could be a reason why they also identify it, and there actually could be cases, but I feel like some cases it's just handed down.
The thing is,
I'm a bipolar or I'm a schizophrenic.
Dude, like I went
depression.
into the hospital, and after like seeing me once, the psychiatrist like, "Yo, you're a grandiose schizophrenic." I'm like, "Dude, you've seen me one time and answered no to all of your questions." He's like, "Do you hear things? Do you see things?" I'm like, "No." And then he's like, "Hey, yeah, you're grandiose." I'm like,
yeah.
It's like,
it's confusing.
if you're gonna diagnose someone, like at least fucking.
Do you know what I saw? I saw this one video where they had a tribe, and the tribe, when they had someone who had voices, they sent them to a specific shaman, and the shaman trained that person how to use the voices.
Yeah.
And then that person,
it's actually like a gift.
Yeah, grew up, amazing life, and then you can look at it
as a fucking like guide for the tribe, because
Western medicine they avoid it and then they drug you, and then they don't even teach you what the voices are, and then you live with it your whole life.
Yeah, and those drugs are fucked up because I take drugs like that and they suck, bro.
Yeah, shit ones. They make you not think.
Yeah, they like dull you down.
Yeah. It's confusing though because some people do need them. Like I've met some people that definitely need medication to survive and just to do regular things even.
Yeah, but that's, you know what I think is, I think they need help. You know, the other thing, they need help, and we don't know how to help them properly. So to just like make it not as bad, we give them the drugs. You know, it's not a solution. It's not a solution, but it is a band-aid. You know, so it's like if we had the proper tools and whatever and technique of like helping the person, then we could fix their problem, and then they don't have to take drugs for the rest of their life. But we just don't know how to do that shit yet.
Yeah. Well, that's why I study myself. I hope I can find something that I could help someone else with. If I can find a gap, why not?
Yeah.
Like, because I've somehow gotten through the weird shit that I've gotten through, and I feel like, I don't know, it's odd.
Dude, me too. My brain for the last 4 years has been like in a pretty fucked state, and I've only just recently pulled it all together.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a lot of battling and hard work, you know, struggle.
It's hard, dude. But, like, a lot of people also don't think other people are going through it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird things that happen that can't be explained.
That is in demand though.
What?
Like, just like, because no one teaches you how to live. You know what I mean? Like, or what to think. Or, you know?
How to think for yourself even.
Well, yeah, in a way. It's like, it'd just be nice if it was just wasn't medicine. Because, like, we go through, think about it, even how school is structured is so weird. I was thinking about that the other day. We go through school, we get uniforms, everybody must look the same. These rules, everybody learns the same thing. Same thing, eh? Same structure everywhere around the whole school. Then you get out of school and no one knows who they are because we were all the same person in fucking school.
Yeah. We all gathered this like general consciousness instead of.
We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We take fucking gap year. It's shit.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I want to do. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big questions that people ask. And it's just so hard to just kind of like live and then just fit in this world.
Dude, especially if what you want to do for a living isn't a fucking real job. Like, I know what I want to do, but it doesn't exist as a job. I want to, like...
What do you want to do?
Fucking dance, right?
You want to
dance in any way. No, but I don't like... I mean freestyle dance to specific music in front of people so they can see how I'm moving and be like, oh, this, and this, because I communicate through dance. I can help people with fucking things through dance, but like, what am I going to be like, hey... club, pay me to stand on your stage and dance to these people. I'm gonna be like, fuck off. You know? It's not a job that exists.
There's a new technology.
I need to start my own like party fucking like or club or something, and then just like go in my club and be like,
project to your body like in pillars. See it. There's a coal club.
No, we'll call it Avos. Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking of it like more of a Joel thing.
No, I mean I do it at Joel's, but it's literally work.
Like you can have exhibition shows, like art shows where people dance.
Yeah, but I don't have like the means and stuff to set that up, you know. I'm gonna try see if I can find a way in, but yeah, you just see my dilemma.
Maybe talk to dancers, ask them how they do it, what they do.
Yeah.
Because some, like even nowadays with YouTube and things like that, you can share things, but I guess that's somewhat impersonal as well.
Yeah, actually, YouTube is a good platform.
Yeah.
Now that I was thinking about that today, actually.
Yeah, dude. You can just jam out, dude.
Yeah, dance in front of my camera, put it on YouTube. Yeah, and then I can play all the songs that I want to play, because that's another issue.
Yeah.
Is there specific music that I want to use to communicate things? Yeah, problems.
So you have to like...
But he doesn't have to, because he can listen to the music and then they have to guess what he's listening to.
Yeah,
no, but it works better if they hear the music. It works better if they hear the music. I could do that though, yeah. I could work with something like that. I would just do a different thing than if they were hearing it. Like,
but yeah.
No, but you can jam out, dude.
What other technology? I was looking at virtual reality. Chat. There's a virtual reality chat where you go in and they got like goggles, and then they got things on their arms, points on their legs. They touch base, so you touch them and you can feel. And you go into this world. And what was weird is it was like you were just finding all these like people, like autism, bipolar, like I've got social anxiety. And what's like happening is these people are learning how to communicate in a virtual environment, because it somehow disconnects from the body when you're in a virtual reality, that this isn't an actual social encounter, even though
it's much easier to
actually having a social encounter.
Yeah, that's a weird thing online, dude.
Yeah. So the imagine you got someone who doesn't speak for like 9 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what I mean? And then they get virtual reality and they can speak. And that's how they learn to speak. So the applications for therapy for this are actually enormous.
Yeah.
And
it's a tricky one to comprehend though, because I'm actually like anti-VR.
Why?
Wow.
But
it's too much for me.
Too much, eh? It is a lot.
Like, dude,
people are living their lives now.
8-9 years ago, someone asked me, would you go to real space or virtual reality space?
Yes.
And their answer was virtual reality space, because you can choose any level.
He is right.
But that was before virtual reality was actually a thing. That's it. Now it's a thing. Like you can actually go do these things. But before it was a thing, it was as crazy to someone to go to space as it was to be in a virtual reality world. Now it exists.
But it would be cheaper.
Yeah.
So if I had to choose,
and it doesn't. At the end of the day, the real thing will always be better. Like.
Yeah.
And you said we can do a spaceship and you can go out into space and do all the space stuff. Cool. The thing is, I can do all of that in real life in the space if I got all the cash. But in virtual reality, I can do whatever I want and fuck with the whole galaxy.
Yeah, go wherever you want.
So if I want to watch the world get shadowed with a comet, And look, I'm talking, we are an actual like simulation of the Earth. They haven't done this, but it would be fucking amazing if you think about it. And you fucking throw a comet at it, and it's like real life.
I think like scientifically it would be
And then they
quite
track.
useful for people to know because I've also looked into that shit a bit. And it's not as intense as a lot of people think. You gotta have some like really big
processing power.
No, but I mean in general, like with asteroids and things like
Oh.
even like you gotta have some big things. Like even like a fridge size one can like fucking put a good hole in the earth, but it's only like a
Small little
radius.
dent.
It's not that intense.
Yeah.
Because like the way
Can
you
fuck
see
it.
it in movies, it's just like a
Yeah, but those are big ones.
those are big ones, yeah. That's the thing, is like in a virtual reality thing, it would probably, like anything, you study it. How something would impact different points, how different this and that, how to end up so we can send a guy to be Bruce Willis and Armageddon.
That still might happen to us.
Who's
That's a
our
big
Bruce
problem,
Willis,
man. It's a big problem.
What, like a comet?
What?
They can Bruce Willis that fucking comet, dude.
Yeah. Do you know what's scarier than that?
Yeah?
Something knocking us off orbit of the sun, and we're slowly getting away from it.
Yeah, that must be a weird
Hey? And it gets colder and colder.
I think it's something that should hit us hard enough to hit us out of orbit. It's gonna fuck the planet anyway, though.
Fucked.
But even we can tilt the axis and get thrown up.
Mm.
Like, or even magnetic fields can go weird and we can get thrown out. There's
Yeah.
weird things that happen in the universe that
We've still got
can't
black
understand,
holes
you
pulling
know.
us.
Or even that, yeah.
That could just be like, that's why it's black. It's a pure magnet. A black hole.
Well, yeah, it is in a way because it's like really dense.
Oh,
So
shit.
gravity, like at the center of our galaxy is a black hole, and that's why we are going around the galaxy because we're going around the black hole. It's like a type of sun, just a sun on
Oh,
steroids.
the reason why I think it's a loop is because everything's spinning. Why is everything spinning?
Because it has to stay active.
I don't
Magnetism
know.
doesn't work for energy.
Because it's a ball and it's like getting pulled by force, and that force makes it spin.
The spin is
Magnets
weird. The spin is weird. I'm just saying.
Mm.
Spinning is weird.
Well,
So
we actually tilted off axis, so there's an argument that.
yeah, but if we look far back,
we were
then
actually on axis.
we still need to look at the whole universe and be like, okay, this is what it looks like, so therefore it must have been like this. Because we can track where the Big Bang was. Because everything's shooting from it, and everything, that's why we know there was a Big Bang, because everything's...
You can see that radiation field, what's it called?
No, well, everything is going like this,
background.
but away. So we can track it, because it's moving like that, and we're moving like this, so we can track the angle and the distance. And we tracked everything, and we saw it all goes to here.
But also,
Got that point.
There's other arguments that say a lot of scientists fuck with that because they're still looking flat. So they're looking from our perspective, but some things are in different layers of.
Yeah, and the image is like
It's not a flat picture of here's the universe and you look over there.
That is true.
It's extremely layered and like there's so many depths to it that we probably can't even comprehend.
Look, we've looked further enough to see if what's there behind what's behind the Big Bang, and what's there is just like a white paper. It's almost like pure energy. When we look at it, the way we translate what we see with the sky.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And then after the Big Bang, you start seeing stuff. And then it's like
that was
splits
somewhat
of
the
energy.
birth of material existence. the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Before that, do you think there was something going on?
More. Let's just say that if there were more or less
Maybe.
atoms. I don't know if you
Not
can
saying
kill
more
an
or less
atom.
like atoms. It could be like
Like a
like
nuclear,
particle
a
thing.
proton.
God said that there be life, but then there has to be a God before that.
Yes.
From the Big Bang itself, being the point of life.
Do you know what I
So
think?
what do you like? Do you think there was a lot more before, or do you think the Big Bang was the start?
I think it's that theory I said.
It's a heavy
I think maybe there was something before, but if there was, there had to be a start somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
So like if it was God and then he was like, let there be light, like he had to have started. No, it has to have started.
What if it's a loop? Then it doesn't have to be a start.
Time doesn't have to
Wow.
be linear.
No, it still had to start the loop at some point.
No, but
You
the
know,
loop is
when did
forward,
the
it's
loop
gonna
fucking
be
start? Yeah, it's gonna continue forward.
No, but the loop is a loop, but it has to have a looping point, which means there was no start to end. It's looping.
Because the
So
start
what-
is the end.
No.
Yeah, think about that. Think
It's
about that.
confusing,
The
dude.
start is the end. So the end of our universe is the start of the next. So we are therefore the creators of the next. So we are the gods of the next one. That's what I think.
So do you think it's possibly like a repackaging of our
Because this is what's going to happen, okay?
energies?
We just said it today. We're going to create virtual reality universes. What is that? For me, that is almost a universe.
It is somewhat.
Like
Yeah,
we're creating that. We can do it so good that we can
It's
almost
a
like
space that's been created that someone can explore. So technically it's a universe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, could it be as detailed as our own universe? Like, if
Depends.
we're using
more.
if we're using
Wax
our
on that boy, dude.
thing, if we're using our like, I don't know.
We're back on.
Is that the half an hour?
Yeah, that's a half an hour. It cuts out every time.
Yeah.
I'm using the camera. I can't beat it, dude.
I just want to go. I just want to go peek with you, though.
Oh, you can. You can get it onto it all. No, that's true.
So yeah,
So yeah.
that's what I believe, and I believe if it's, I believe as in afterlife. It's almost like I'm living through my parents and my children.
So you're existing in all spaces at once in a way.
Yeah,
Is that your like view of reality in a way?
yeah.
Because I'm a strong believer in everything happening at once, and present reality is the bridge between that.
Okay, yeah. Because then that would be 4D, the fourth dimension. Because we transcend time. And yeah, we transcend time. What? Because we transcend time, it's the fourth dimension, and we can see everything at once. But I don't think there's. What if there's no fourth dimension and we're just three? Why does there have to be a fourth?
But then is there less than two, or did we just count it three?
What even like would a fourth dimension look like?
It's a three.
Because the two-dimensional could be three-dimensional.
Look, the two-dimension world is in the three-dimensional.
What? The 2D world?
Isn't the 2D world in the three-dimensional world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even
the 2D world within the 3D.
Yeah, it was all happening at the same time. But that's kind of how
Neil
it is.
deGrasse Tyson explains it actually with an ant walking across paper. So if you have an ant walking across here, it'll notice only the flat plane. It wouldn't actually notice the extreme depth. So it's somewhat in a 2D universe.
Yeah.
So
now
if
you scatter things all along a table here, the thing will look around and be like, oh, it's...
So have we found the 2D dimension? Can we peer into it?
No.
It's yeah.
You know what I mean? You see, we're going always 4D. Why haven't we gone to first D? What is first D? Oh shit. What does first D look like?
A dot. That's what first D is. It's just one single point.
I'll put that up later.
2D is a line. 3D is like a shape.
Yeah. I think it has been proven that we can't adventure there as a human.
How do we-
Our own limitations.
How do we expect it to go to 4D then? I think we're looking for something that might not be there.
Yeah.
But maybe it is there.
Well,
Because then how do we
I'll
explain all
show
those
you that-
trippy things happening
I'll
to
show
us?
you that Neil deGrasse Tyson thing that I was trying to explain.
Mm-hmm.
We'll explain it properly and also the whole thing. But yeah, he explains different dimensions in a way like that.
Yeah.
Like that each of them have different complete like weird expressions of how a being of a higher level will interact with it.
Dude, you know what just came to my mind? Talking about a 2D dimension. The fucking one time that I ever got Sylvia to work when I was smoking it, I literally like blacked out and it was like I woke up in a 2D, it felt to me like a 2D dimension, and I just remember that I was like really late for something, and I started like walking towards my house. Cameron's like, dude, like
Sure.
snaps me out of it, and then I came back to reality. But yeah, it felt like I was in a 2D world and I was late, and I just had to like fucking get to where I was.
Your brain does that. I think your brain is doing these tricks to us. It's that strong.
I think we have freedom of access to anything. It just depends on where we access or where we presently are.
So there's you saying that
So I think
the location
like
is
you said with that
important.
2D, you could have ended up in a 2D. Who knows?
Because
Like-
when you had
Yeah,
your
or like I was just perceiving things in a 2D way or something.
when you
know?
astral
Yeah, sure.
projected, did it have to matter where you were?
No.
Okay, how many times have you astral projected?
The one where I've lifted,
Hmm?
1,000. And then the one where I've left my body once.
Really? Thousands?
I sat there for years, son.
For years?
Yeah. It's not, you don't just learn.
In an
something
infinite
like that.
time loop?
Yeah, I don't believe it's closed, like I said. But you gotta stay connected still. If you lose connection, you end up drifting.
So how do we stay
Connection's
connected?
important.
What is connection? I know there's a lot of questions now.
That's a hard one to explain, but it's somewhat being present with everything around you, in my opinion, and feeling it's present in your presence.
Almost like God's presence.
Yeah.
How they would describe it.
Well, arguably, I'm a being, and everything beyond me is God. I could treat the world like that happily.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you can like see God as like the collective consciousness of like everything.
yeah, like everything, like literally everything. But that's the thing is, I don't see God as man in the sky. That's a little bit too
Yeah. I also do.
abstract for me, even though I might go more abstract. But like that's quite a confusing one for me to comprehend. Like, but like let's say in the Christian form, is like made in the same image or whatever, but it could be the same picture. The whole thing could be the same picture. It's not saying we're God. It just means that we are part of it. In a way, maybe.
Maybe.
It's a weird one to try explain that one actually, but connection is,
How do you know when you're disconnected?
you can feel it. That's the thing is, I can't tell you like how like
And
it's like it's being distant, numb, unaware. Like you can feel when you're not realizing the world around you, and you can know when you're realizing it. It's
Non-clarity. In a way.
yeah, dude, I've had experiences where like all of a sudden it felt like I was in another place, and I just felt like I was the only person there, and I just felt like extremely scared and alone because I was like, where the fuck am I? Yeah, I've had experiences like that that have lasted like a few
I've heard
minutes
that.
or so.
I've read that.
Yeah,
That's fucking scary. I've had that feeling. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's like your friends are those people that you don't know.
yeah, you know them, but you also don't know them.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I haven't seen you guys in a while. You guys are my friends, but I haven't seen you in a while to know what's going on to an extent. Never mind what's going on besides what you tell me. What's going on.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is people meet people in the states they normally present themselves in, or it's like, hey, I'm going out. I got this stuff. I'm going like this.
It's even like Twitter or anything like that. Everybody presents their best self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if I just did my social media and I just did all the negative stuff? Wonder what it would be.
It would be different. Yeah.
It would
Or
be
just
different,
like don't
don't
try
know.
and like filter, you know, just present like
All
fucking
the bad.
whatever is happening, the good and the bad.
Be like, this is a social experiment.
Yeah.
This is what happened today.
Well, you
I
just
don't
say
know.
all their options.
Yeah.
It might be useful to someone even something like that. Because some people are probably thinking all these weird things and like,
Yeah, some people-
these weird things without knowing that some people do it as well and have to navigate how to be normal.
The Depeche Mode channel.
What?
I'd call it that because it's like depressed mode.
Yeah.
Like Depeche Mode.
Aye.
Depressed mode. I don't know.
What is
It
that,
can
like
be
a bad
hectic
trip?
though. Can be hectic. What if it's just a channel to just funnel negative energy? At least I could close it down. It's obviously not something I want, because especially on the internet when you got trolls, you know.
Yeah. That's the one confusing thing about the internet now. Some people are actually trying to do things, and then some people just rip them to shit for trying.
I heard the internet is dark.
Yeah.
Darkness. But
Never
it's
mind
like
what you
weird.
can find on there, dude.
It's like weird. In real life, the people who are the darkness look like normal people.
Blending,
Yeah.
The darkness.
The darkness.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
some
trippy
weird
one to
people.
comprehend all of it.
Look, yeah, it's one of the rules of the internet. There will always be a community for anything.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. There could be a community of killers.
Yeah. Well,
Or
sadly
child
it exists.
molesters.
Like Epstein and shit. Like everyone thought that this is conspiracy.
That shit
but
just-
he has these folks in prison now.
Did you hear that
somewhere.
they confirmed aliens?
Who?
The
United
Pentagon.
States.
Who?
United States.
Oh. Yeah. The Pentagon, dude. They didn't confirm aliens. They confirmed the existence of unidentified flying objects and unidentified. I think it's a US because it's like a submerged one. It can go under.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, see.
Yeah. It's confusing because they're saying all of these things are real, but I say arguably it's human technology. It's just the confusing part is there's no form of thrust that they can see, so it becomes either someone's figured something out that no one else can replicate, or it's an
Yeah.
alien doing it.
A form of thrust.
Yeah. Like no visible form of how this thing is moving. And it can change direction with free will.
Yes, see.
Yeah.
In
But
the
also,
atoms.
like, we live in the
Yeah.
age of.
Like,
I've
I mean,
seen gravity, I've seen fucking Jupiter ascending, I've seen Avatar, I've seen. My man, you think that the government's not lying to us? Like, like they've proven themselves again and again to be honest. Let's say.
Honest.
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 That's a lie.
I wouldn't trust the government.
Yeah, no. That's the
I would
thing, like,
honestly-
tell me, like, when I say that, honest, like, straight away you think, like, nah, they're not honest.
Yeah.
You can say they lie, but you're like, oh, no, they lie. But when you think honesty, like, often people forget that one as well. Like, how often can you trust it? That's my issue with all of this, is I'm, like, partially
Yeah.
a skeptic with this, and I think it's bullshit.
What?
This whole releasing the alien thing. It's too much of a build-up. It's like a movie. Like, if an alien showed up and was like, it's a fucking alien, I'd be like, shit, there's a fucking alien.
Or is maybe that's what they're doing. They're like feeding us in slowly.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
like a
normal.
movie, dude. You gotta watch the intro. You gotta fucking sit there through it. You gotta get a little bit nervous around here. They're playing a fucking movie as well, which confuses me, dude. Like, it could be real, don't get me wrong. I'm open to that as well. But I also think they're playing games.
Bit of both.
With special effects nowadays, you can play games easily.
Easy. You can create whatever you
With
want.
VR worlds, you can create a world that you can make a model of a guy
Perfect.
to interact in a world that's the world
Yes.
as himself.
As the
not
alien
himself.
or whatever.
It's weird, dude.
Perfect.
Like
Looks real.
they could be like an alien that came here and had technology that we couldn't detect, and then like took like the form of a human and is like walking here, you know.
In ancient times, they always spoke about shapeshifters.
Yeah, and like some crazy stuff has happened, like the Egyptians built the pyramids, and it's like, how the fuck did they do that, you know?
Pure will and human determination.
But it was like such huge fucking rocks, and it's
Yeah.
like, how did they fucking transport them and build them? And
Years
You know
of
what
will
really
and determination.
confuses me more than that about the pyramids? Like, I don't know the answer to that either.
yeah,
But how the fuck did they do all of that artwork with such precision on rocks?
Do you know what? That's
Where
such
the
legends.
fuck do you find the artist or someone in a community or a group of people, never mind one civilization that's apparently only a couple strong, or a couple milli maybe, the Egyptians,
yeah.
but where the fuck do you find artists that can precisionally go make these columns, do this, do that, do that,
I don't
that
know.
still look like that to this day? Some of them have obviously fallen apart, but like some
That's
of
a
them
monument.
are with extreme detail. How the fuck were those people capable of that detail?
Skills.
Skills.
Yeah,
but it's
you just
so
learn
huge
it.
that not one guy could have done it.
Yeah, but they do that these days. Like,
So
they
where-
spray paint on a big wall this fucking huge image. It's the same.
No,
you just
but
learn.
it's not a like a rock sculpture that'll take you weeks.
Look, if you're gonna make
yeah,
a
but
monument,
they had a long time. You know, they had like a whole civilization, so they could have done that over like fuck knows
So
how
maybe
many
that's
years.
what they did, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing? We're chipping out the walls today, boys.
Look, if they're gonna
Yeah.
make a monument, or anybody's
It's
gonna
their
make
job.
a monument, make a monument that 3,000 years later people think it was aliens.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest swag move you can make.
Yeah.
I didn't make no
Those
one forget
aliens,
you. Blow
no
their
ways they
fucking
did this.
minds, dude.
No ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe. I don't know. It's just.
But even like the way it aligns with the stars, the way every single chamber is a resonance, like a room of resonance, and you can, like, depending on where you are, different things happen in those rooms, and you interact differently, or you can speak differently, or like because your voice can now travel through the whole. Like they knew so much about acoustics, energy,
Yeah.
like where the fuck did they learn this shit, dude? Like. Unless they were connected to something like the ether.
Maybe they were connected.
Yeah.
Like you said, yeah.
To the ether.
Yeah.
Beaming in knowledge.
Yeah. Like the Akashic records, dude. There's actually, weirdly enough, a lot of like famous people, like Nikola Tesla, one of the dudes who figured out some heavy shit in math. I think Einstein even like had visitations in a way. They told them some things that helped them with their pop. Like random. Like it's odd. That some things might interact at some point. But I don't know what that is. I don't know if that guy was smart enough and that's just how they're explaining like a
Experience they had.
yeah, like an outside idea that didn't feel like it was them, so they say it was external, but it could have been them.
Yeah.
Because some of those oaks have experienced some weird things that helped them figure out some things. But then that could be like aliens communicating. Because who says they're physical either? It's also human assumptions to think it's a bipedal thing. I think that's somewhat cocky even. To think of aliens like.
I just thought that aliens almost like evolved our pineal gland.
By sending fucking mushrooms to the jungle.
Shut up. The stone ape theory.
Yeah.
You think they gave us mushrooms? But like, also, do you think it was like a?
No,
Dude,
they
it's like,
gave us
it's the
pineal
story
gland.
of Genesis, right? There's Adam and Eve, and then the fucking Lord comes and he's walking among them. So this could be like an alien, and he's like, don't eat this. And then, like, you know, in a way, there's other dude that like says, do eat them to like test them, and then they eat it and it's mushrooms. And then he says he's going to kick them out of the garden, and the woman's going to suffer from childbirth. And childbirth is so painful for women because the head of a baby is so big. That's because we have big brains, you know. So maybe it's like before their brains weren't as big. But now that they ate the fruit and they had the knowledge, now the brain grew bigger, you know.
I don't know. I vibe with more the argument of that being the point of separation. Like let's say a battery has positive and negative, but it's still a battery. So like it was the point where everything was one thing, and then it chose to leave that state, and then they could now see their differences.
Yeah.
Because they were no longer one thing. I don't know. Like it's very weird because some of these things, like let's say the Bible, explain things quite clearly, weirdly enough, depending on how you look at it. But sometimes you might be like, no, that's fucking bullshit. But sometimes you might be like, that actually could be right.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. I'm not really a religious person. I just look into them because I think it's interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. It's like a different way of living. Yeah, I went to Thailand. Buddhists live very, very differently. Yeah, it's just weird. They like
Also went there once.
I feel like people are.
I was so young, I don't even remember.
People
I
are
do
very
remember
friendly.
things, but nothing fancy.
Very friendly.
Yeah.
In Thailand.
Yeah, I don't know if we were in a tourist destination or whatever, but we're very friendly. Yeah, almost like nothing really mattered in a way. No, that sounds weird. I don't know. White people in Christianity are too tight. They're like pimped up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, chill.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the thing is a lot of people start to push ideas onto others when they feel like they know the answer or they've been told the answer.
yeah.
So they
Yeah.
start to interact with this information and then they start to get somewhat like pushy with it to other people because now it's what they believe.
Mm.
And they just end up moving it around like that instead of if you don't push someone to go into something, they might just look at it without you pushing them. But if you push them, you might push them too far and they might be like, no, fuck this. So I think a lot of that actually contributes to a lot of people leaving the Christian community is when they push too hard. Because you get some people who believe their thing and then they're very chill people, they interact with the world like anyone else would. They just do their thing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could suppose say I'm not religious, and when I speak to people who are religious, oh yeah, do you do that thing where you hold hands? Are you guys religious though?
No.
My family is religious. We pray, but we don't hold hands.
Yeah, I used to when I was younger, yeah.
I don't know.
I've also done that at family.
I always join in just to not be like. I guess that's the group thinking. Social acceptance. It will be weird if everybody's holding hands and I'm like.
Yeah. You kind of have to if you're in that
That's
situation.
actually one of the parts I really like about it, really. I don't like holding hands with people, don't do that, but I like the coming together and also being thankful for the food on your plate, not just being like, oh, wait, like, ciao. Like actually being thankful and like for the food that you got and how it got there. Because that's often where it is, it's like praying.
Yeah, I just disagree with the God that the whole Christian and Muslim and Jewish vibe go with. Because it's just like, if he created this world and he wanted us to do good, then why did he create evil? Or, you know what I mean? And if he's testing us, then what is the test for?
You know what I think? I don't know. I'm not saying there is a God, but what I would say is, I don't think it's a. If there is, I don't think it's a. And the concept of evil, I don't think it's a test. I think it's more like a lesson. It's like, this is what happens when you do fucked up shit, and like when people do fucked up shit, so you like learn, you know. And then
it's evolution, in a way, but it's just like our evolution is being.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It's like if you've experienced some really fucked up shit, then when you have some nice shit going on, you like can appreciate it more because you know what the opposite is.
I watched this good movie. You guys must watch it, called Bliss. And that taught me that. It's called Bliss. I don't know if you want me to spoil it for you.
No.
Yeah, you can say, talk.
Don't go too deep. Try dodge. Try dodge the spoilers.
So it's about this chick who teaches this guy through like being like a hobo and stuff, like the meaning of life. And the actual story is, it's like he's actually like a multi-millionaire and he doesn't know it. And then he went into this program to learn to be homeless, to appreciate, because he wasn't happy.
Yeah, that's what Buddha did. He literally like grew up in a temple, and his parents never showed him like any of the suffering of the world.
Because his dad was scared because they told him he was gonna be a great sage or a.
Yeah, and then he went and he like one day he left the temple, and then he sees like a dying man and all of this fucked up shit in the world, and that's why he was like, "Fuck this! I'm leaving. I'm living the." He used to eat like only what people gave him and stuff, and like live the poor life to like experience all that shit and whatever and understand suffering.
Yeah. Now that is quite a weird story compared to the other ones, like the Buddha.
Yeah,
like,
see there
how like somewhat their family didn't want them to be what they were, and then Buddha eventually, after exposure to the world, decided in their own path how to move and ended up inspiring people or something, or whatever that was, or if it was a person or some being or.
I just like the Buddha religion because it's just like What have they ever? What do you know about Buddhism that separates people? Because a lot of religions separate. They're like, if you are non-Muslim or you are non-Christian,
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
Buddhism's like, well,
Buddhism's chilled.
it doesn't matter because we know that you are part of what we understand.
Yeah.
So within them, they believe the cycles of creation and things as well.
Yeah. So the loop.
But also, like, there's one story that was quite beautiful for me about Buddha as well. Is there was this one guy who showed up in the temple after hearing what Buddha was speaking about and spat at Buddha.
Yeah.
And this oak, like, Buddha did nothing. He just looked at the guy and the oak ended up screaming and walking away. And then, like, 3-4 days later, the oak walked back into the temple. And Buddha said hello, started speaking to him again, and he's like, why are you treating me with any respect? Like, I spat on you 4 days ago. Do you remember that was me? And then Buddha was like, no, there's already a different man in front of me to the man that was there before. Which is quite beautiful, dude. Like, if you think about it, just as in, like, someone might do something fucked up, but it's not all they are.
Yeah.
They can still learn from that. They can still evolve. They can still be better. Like, it's not a stagnation point. You're like, oh, I'm a fucker.
Yeah.
You can still actually, like, move on.
Okay, and no matter how bad it is, how tough it is, it'll be better.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is there's good days, there's bad days, but, like, appreciating each of those is even useful.
It can be hard.
Yeah, definitely. Because some days you're like, why the fuck me? Like, why?
If it's for too long though, and you're experiencing this for too long, then it can be torturous, and then you won't understand that there will be a good day. You know, that's why I think, like, in American schools, there's a lot of bullying going on, and that's why they have school shootings. There's two things going on: access to automatic, semi-automatic, high caliber rifles.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
No license.
Bullying in school. Those two. Yeah.
Yeah, shit, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
And
the thing,
also-
is some people aren't as physically capable as other people, let's say to stand up to a bully
Yes.
or to do something like that. Like,
Yeah, but
some
that
people you square up to a guy and you're like, I can't do this. But then some people are willing to go the extra mile and try to do it some other way, which I think is where the problem comes in. Like, if you fuck someone up enough, they might follow that path.
Well, the only way to end the suffering is if I kill you.
Access, though. That's the thing, is that, like, access as well. The thing is, like, normally kids will go to school and then you just have a fucking rough week or something. I understand bullying is shit, but it happens to all of us. Even when you're older, like, you don't suddenly escape people's opinions. Like, but some people just react to it very extremely.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Scary with that. I don't know. Like, how I'd be comfortable in a country like that even. If something like that's happening all the time. Because of access. But then also you have the issue of, as soon as you try to take away the access, you have,
It's their constitutional rights.
it's a constitutional right, as well as, okay, I can argue I hate guns. Don't like them at all. But the problem is in the same time, is people have those guns to protect themselves from the government. That's why they have them. And when people are doing like this COVID shit where you can suddenly shut down the whole world, a lot of people are like, who are these guys in power that are doing this? Is it for my health? Or is it for some other reason? And the problem is some people would like the option to defend themselves. Which is fair. I can't argue that.
But like, then you need to at least make sure the person doing that is responsible enough with the weapon that,
100%.
yeah.
But that's where the hard part comes in. There's bribery, there's this, there's that. There's, I know this guy that can get you your gun license quick. Or like,
Yeah.
it's,
But it's still like less.
actual training is hard to come across. People that actually dedicate themselves to knowing how to do something if you're going to hold something like that.
Yeah, it's like you have the right to drive around in a car, but you need to first get your license and learn how to drive
Definitely.
it safely, you know.
And prove that you know how to drive your car before you can. But you can
Yeah.
also bribe your license and
Yeah, you can. I mean,
You
there's
drive out
corruption
to life,
everywhere,
it's
but like you
it's
still
any
have the
black
system
market
in
record,
place.
It's just how many percent of the population need guns to protect from the government?
Well, in
What are you going to do
America,
against a tank?
absolutely ridiculous.
You want rifles? And then one tank.
Yeah, that's why
Someone
you have
gonna
to hope
source
the
a rocket
government you've
launcher.
elected is not going to fucking attack you with their army.
You know, that's why I think technology has gotten too advanced for it to become unfair for everyone. Like literally everyone. There's no way anyone can compete anything. There's just bloodshed. Because all of these things are so fancy, there's no way any of us can actually beat them. So, like, but the truth about all of them is until they're self-driving, it's still about the person who's in control of that thing. And if they are fucked up, then they're fucked up. But if they're a respectful person trying to do something, I don't specifically agree with what they do, but some people are trying to do some things that we may not understand.
Yeah.
Like some military and some this and that. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't like war. I don't like any of it. But some people also end up in there because they believe they can help. Like, it's a trippy one.
Yeah. You just need one country for the whole world.
For the one world, like country or government. But that's
What?
no decentralization, boy.
Decentralization.
Yeah, I don't believe that any group of people, or oligarchy, or any fucking bunch of cunts should be able to,
Decentralized. Agreed.
yeah, that's the thing is like we should all be connected. So like let's say something like the internet, using the internet as a tool to like connect us all or connect communities together. Instead of having a situation where you got this guy who stands up in front of everyone being like, I'll make decisions. Like, it doesn't work. No one's going to make the right decisions for people, and unless people can actually situationally communicate with each other.
Can the people...
Because it's situational as well. There's no exact answer for any conflict or anything. Like, people need to be more aware of each situation and the effect of each situation. Not just like, oh, there's little ones, there's big ones. Because then it just becomes things.
Yeah, it can be hard. The decentralization can work. So right now they want to do a new thing in South Africa called Vote SA. I don't know if you've seen it, something like that. So what they're saying is direct democracy, which in a way they can say, yes, that is what they're doing. But so now we can vote for the people in like parliament and shit like that. So we vote for those people. That's a new thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is it's not a direct democracy, because Sweden runs a direct. I think it's Norway or Sweden. They run a direct democracy where each citizen votes on a different mandate depending on the level. They've got levels of how serious the thing is. So if it's like a really serious one, 100% of the population must vote.
Yeah.
Legal. If you
Well,
don't
that's
vote,
the thing. Like with voting nowadays, only 50% of the population turns up, and then you got to deal with this guy running shit. But also, a lot of people don't choose to vote because the options are shit.
yeah. See, the problem is we can't implement that system here because of the infrastructure we have here in South Africa. It's not enough for the whole population to have internet access, cell phones,
and education to vote correctly for the person.
I mean,
That's a rare one as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard.
An educated approach to voting, not just this guy sounds cool and he sounds truthful.
And I still feel like no one's responsible in our government yet. It's just like they steal and then no one gets.
The problem is there is people involved in there that ended up working in government as well, like let's say the military thing, to try helping the world. But their boss is now gonna, let's say your boss is corrupt. What you gonna do? Tell your boss, hey, fuck you, you're corrupt. Lose your job.
You could
Now
report
you
him.
gotta look after your family. You gotta.
Yeah.
It's confusing to the ways people end up in these situations, but it's like it ends up slowly bringing them in as well, because you're exposed to so much documents, so much this and that. Just fucking with a few of them doesn't seem like a lot when you have so much going through. But then people forget how much that's actually affecting people.
Oh, it's crazy. We could help so many people here in South Africa.
But yeah, like I think first of all we need to solve the poverty problem. Like poverty is a confusing aspect to me because I'm a strong believer in one sense that we were once nature dwelling people. So you can say someone's homeless, or they live in a forest. Like not exactly homeless in a forest, they just live in a forest or live differently. But also like in today's society, somewhat, it's weird that everyone is forced to play along with this. Like compared to that. And even if you come from the bushes, you're gonna have to come and somewhat play along.
Yeah.
Because that's someone else's land.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know.
Yeah, some guy could come buy your land. You could have no concept of what's that because you're just living off of it. Like,
Yeah. I always think it would be simpler.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think we overcomplicate things as well. Like we've created so much loopholes within things for whatever reason. Probably governments trying to get away with shit.
That's why I
And
said
people in power trying to get away with shit, so they keep on adding in loopholes to dodge corners, and only if you have a fancy lawyer you can access those. So they're not for the people at all. Those loopholes.
So all you got to do is just look at the system, completely erase it, and look at the fundamentals of what we need as what a government is supposed to be. Because the way I see it is, the government is just supposed to facilitate. They mustn't decide. They're not decision makers. No one in the government should be decision makers. They are facilitators and admin and operators.
Yeah.
Decision makers should be the citizens.
So they make it happen, people, more than
the basics.
Yeah.
So then we look, okay, well, now we need to provide a service. Garbage. Okay. How can we do it so that everybody will,
be happy? Yeah.
Well, just like electricity. Yes. Okay, what are we going to do? No, we should do sustainable energy.
Number one, we should switch off all
what
of the
suppliers should we go to?
and shops that are on all the time.
Then we must
driven past those shops and everything, always on all the time. I can argue it's like I think they argue that it's for security, but I'll switch all of those off. Fuck those people. Make an infrared light or heat lights or something that can waste a lot less power than lighting up entire things. Like car shops and things like that are lit for so long at night. You can drive past those places and you can see all the cars inside there. Why? Who gives a fuck? Advertising, but we don't care. Like we have power problems here. There's been load shedding.
Yeah.
We don't care about your cars.
That is true.
Like, so that's step one, I think, is you need to switch off all of these big boys that are fucking around.
No, step one, looking at the whole system, removing it and starting from scratch. That's step one.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
That's the thing, is there is foundations here that do protect our rights in a way, because when you do let everything go, there's some people that take advantage of that.
But the system we inherited from the apartheid government was a flawed system from the start. The system didn't change, it got transferred and then adapted to fit for the people.
Well, it's still Western civilization. It's not different, It's confusing, that as well. But I'm very glad we got to grow up in the world we did and not that, dude.
Yeah.
Because I had the advantage of having any color person in school with me or race or whatever, and I didn't give a fuck. If you were chilled, you chilled. If you're a dickhead, you're a dickhead. Like, it's pretty much it. Like,
yeah, the older generation in South Africa, a lot of them are racist. Even among my family members.
They're gonna die. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No offense.
No.
But
there's on both sides, black and white.
So that's the thing, is there's existing things that from the past that some people can't get over or were taught.
Yeah,
that's hard. Like people were fed so much propaganda, like, it's hard to undo
systemic racism. It's like in the person's fucking like.
If you think about it, we
subconscious.
We don't even have a choice of who's the president in South Africa, because it's always ANC, and we don't even get to vote who's the head of ANC.
Well, that's the thing, is you voting for the party to choose someone as educated individuals within that sphere of existence. But it's all bullshit in the end.
We don't choose. We don't have power. It's not power. My vote actually means nothing.
The thing is also as humans, we allow these things to exist. because it seems easier. Even though they constantly fuck us over, we're still allowed to exist. So that's one of the arguments to that. But how do you undo something like that logically without making everything fuck up? Especially just, but like I think all we literally need is a proper plan for distributing food, which you're already close to having.
People to work, to have something to do.
People need something to do.
Yeah.
Definitely. If people end up in stagnation, like let's say even lockdown, it's a problem. If people end up just sitting around and shit, it's a huge problem.
Even if they're like doing art or something.
Anything. Literally anything.
Like,
fuck. Sitting around is a problem.
Literally farming marijuana.
Yeah.
Just farm marijuana. But you know how many percentage of people that are unemployed don't want to do that?
Because of the societal aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some rich people now that are getting involved in that and getting their weed licenses and this and that to run big grows, or have some places in the world where you can run those grows, like Colorado or something like that, where it's legal. And where it's not shunned upon, it's actually a very profitable, like honest living. It's just shunned upon here because of, well, not even anymore that much. But I like the access to medicine part of it now. The actual being able to take time to study strains, their effects on different people, different ways of growing them. Like they're finding in America now like different strains to like combat PTSD. So they're finding things that work better, or not too anxious, not too drowsy, not too this, or like there's different, like it's like thousands of different medications because of the different ways that exist.
Yeah, like modify.
Weed is all very different, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's trippy. But I'm glad it's getting legalized everywhere soon, or close to, because I believe it is somewhat necessary to society.
Yeah.
I would say maybe wait until like you're a little bit older before you start smoking, but I think people should have access to it.
I don't think people should smoke it, first of all.
What are you?
Damages the lungs. So I mean,
dude, there's like Rastafarians, some of them, that believe you shouldn't inhale the flame. That's why they like. There's a stereotypical like brownie eating thing as well, because they'd always eat edibles and things because they don't consume the flame, so they don't smoke weed directly.
Yeah,
which is quite crazy actually to think about, like such a small little aspect of it that they're like, no, I don't inhale flames.
It was dangerous for your lungs.
I would say it's Atal, but I think that's a diet. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, out of all the things that are like legal and illegal, do you think that the current way those are laid out makes sense?
No ways. No fucking ways at all.
What?
Alcohol should be
Those things are
illegal.
laid out, like things that
Cigarettes?
are legal and illegal.
Cigarettes illegal.
Like, let's say alcohol legal.
No, I think
legal.
all drugs should be decriminalized. Like that's what they did in Portugal.
Decriminalized.
Yeah,
yes.
it like lowered their drug problem like so
They
drastically.
actually offered people help
Yeah,
instead of imprisonment.
imprisoning them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said, well, how does it help if you're giving them free heroin?
It's also
And
clean drug.
they go, well, they come into a hospital where it's clean. We give them the perfect amount of dose for them.
So they don't
That they
fucking
don't
overdose.
die. Okay. Also,
Same as anesthetic.
it's 100% pure clean. No one, you know, and there's less spread of HIV and all of that.
That's the thing, is it's very dangerous in the
And
way
they end
that
up-
people get these things.
They end up coming to the hospital, getting the medicine, and 80% of heroin addicts actually want to get off it. So they actually try and actively stop with people, because sometimes all you need is to just talk to someone.
Yeah.
And that's also a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, the focus is on rehabilitation rather than punishment,
Yeah.
which is how the prison system in general should work.
But the Americans
Yeah.
figured out a way to make money out of the prison system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
and
why
that's
their prisons
why-
are so
Extremely
fucked.
profitable.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like people get raped in jail all the time, and like fucking society jokes, like makes jokes about it, like, but it's not funny. Like,
Yeah,
imagine
so-
you went to jail because you did something you fucked up, and now you're
Even
getting
innocent.
raped. You know? Yeah, in some cases,
Nowadays, you can
exactly.
easily be innocent and end up in jail.
Mm.
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah, no, the profiting of there's so many arguments that come into that though. Like even during COVID now, like when America released this $9 trillion relief, like at the beginning, and Black Lives Matter was taking place at the same time, and those oaks were like, "What the fuck are you doing with $9 trillion when we are suffering?" Like oaks are suffering now, before now. You had $9 trillion in the bank and you left us there. Like, it's weird. Like,
It is weird. Things don't line up. It's like America's like a fake friend who says, "I'm gonna help people for peace," and then he doesn't really do that. It's like,
but also somehow the world has propped them up as the peacekeepers. Like, I don't know if they specifically chose it themselves either.
They're not the peacekeepers. They haven't been peacekeepers for like 30, 40 years.
Well, they're obviously causing a lot of shit, but like, societally, a lot of people look up to America for answers, weirdly enough, even in other places in the world.
Yeah.
Like when COVID came out, you look at Americans, why? Who the fuck are they?
It's funny and they failed, so it was cool to watch them and like fuck out. I'll be honest, because it was like watching the number one just fall down the stairs, like, and it was fun watching them fall, eh? Because they hit every fucking step on the way down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aspect where like you can argue that some, like in some aspects they deserve it, but also a lot of people have been going through so much shit there non-stop. The rioting hasn't stopped since COVID started. Their COVID numbers are ridiculous. Dr. Fauci looks like he was involved with the lab now, so he helped bring this virus to them. Like, do we, like, in a place like that, who do you trust? Who do you believe?
I don't know, man. It's just, I heard shit before all this shit came out, before in the beginning, like 3 months after COVID, and there were scientists looking at the coronavirus, and they were saying, yeah, this is a mutation that we do in a laboratory that is only done by laboratories to increase the growth of the pathogen so we can sell it.
You get banned off the internet. Stop talking about that. That's the thing. It's like that's literally what happened. Is Facebook, everyone started banning people for the lab leak series, like literally banned off the internet.
And now
it's becoming active. Yeah.
They're unbanning them.
No, but what happens now that it starts to become a thing? Like it might not be the actual answer, but it's closer than a bat. Let's be fair. Even though they might have harvested it from a bat and then brought it to the lab.
The actual story was, I heard or I read somewhere that these oaks went into a cave to farm the bat shit, because you can use the bat shit for shit. It sounds bad, but anyway, and they fell sick, and some of them died, and they looked at and they found this fucking virus, and they were looking at this virus, and then it got out, and now they had to like quickly fucking make a big story.
The thing is, like in a natural environment, that could actually happen as well.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But the chances of it being able to be like a flu thing that can bounce from human to human afterwards is odd, I think.
Do you know what was weird?
But like also before genetic engineering, there was pandemics and the Black Plagues and.
The timing was too good though, because at that time, as soon as coronavirus came out, what exactly was happening? Everything on the news, the whole world was China riots. Remember that? No rioting for like 2 months. Remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
Not specifically China.
China riots through December. So what do you do if you're China and they're rioting fucked in the streets? 30% of your population is not like in the streets. Let's just give them a virus and it gives us all permission, martial law, lock them down.
Yeah.
Huh?
But that's why, back to an argument to why people have their guns. It's because of this behavior. How do you trust someone if there's so many options to these things and you can't get any clear ones?
Too lined up cold. So they're like, we've got, 2 billion people in our country, it's fine. It's fine if like 20% are.
But in China?
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, anyway. Yeah. So let's just release the virus. We'll be okay. We've got lots of people. And we'll be prepared. We'll be prepared. We'll build hospitals. We understand what's coming. We'll come out of the pandemic actually better.
But that's also an argument for population control then.
Yeah.
Which is...
Ethically?
It's fucked up. It's so fucked up. I don't know how anyone can take part in that.
Ethically, the population control must be a proactive thing, not a reactive thing. So proactive, each couple can only have one child. Now, I can't say that I want to give someone their rights away from having a child, so give them like one child. Then two people will become one, so we should reduce the population. I don't know if that's how it works, but
But there's also arguments of decimating populations because your young generation is starting to fall out because of
getting old.
What is not infant rates? What's it called?
Yeah, there is that. Then there's so
one-
many old people and there's not enough young people.
Yeah,
and their old economy fucks up.
As well, so that's also bad. Or in a general society, that's also bad. So you can't just start limiting.
But somewhere there's a line.
That's the thing is that.
Two?
I think we should just try and figure
Two,
out how
okay?
to do this respectfully, dude.
Two?
The thing is, if there was a way
What
to
happens if you
educate
have sex
everyone
in China and you have 4 babies, triplets or something?
You get no help from the government.
Yeah, horrible.
How's that? Dude, someone in South Africa the other day had the most babies. One go. 10.
10. How the fuck?
10.
How the
World
fuck?
record. We got a world record, another world record from South Africa. Can you?
Decuplets, dude.
Huh?
Decuplets, dude. What is that, dude? What did you
That's a
call
lot of babas.
Dude,
My father's face was.
Dude,
He
that must
was
be
faking a
horrible.
smile.
Imagine it's like
10.
gonna be a dad. It's like 10 kids.
Yes, you know.
All at once, dude. All at once. Just.
That's a lot, eh?
That's 10 kids. Yeah,
That's a lot, eh? Fuck.
But yeah, dude. I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about the whole LGBTQ community thing.
Yeah.
Because you're actually quite educated in that compared to me, dude.
Well, LGBTQ is what?
With the plus
Lesbian,
as well, but-
lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, and transsexual.
Are the straights allowed in there somewhere?
No.
Sometime? Why? But isn't it all about being all exclusive?
You can
Yeah.
join them in their parades and stuff. You just can't be part of the name.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I won't even do that
Like, if you're
stupid
not-
super straight
If you're not a
stuff. I'll just
Christian,
be
you
like
can't
normal
be
straight.
fucking included in the Christian.
You can show
But
up
it
to
defeats the whole purpose of LGBT, don't you think so?
No, because it's all inclusive for people that are not straight.
Yeah,
Can
so
we have a
that's
I know
straight
what you're
party?
saying, but like,
It's a little bit of an odd angle, yeah. 'Cause also,
yeah, we
like,
can have a straight party.
A straight one.
People,
For me, it's
yeah,
an
that's
odd
fine.
angle.
We won't even do super straight because I know that word can be triggering to the LGBT.
Yeah,
No, we can be
RS.
straight as we want. Have a party.
yeah.
Like fuck.
Well, that's the thing is like, I'd like consider myself straight because like I'm attracted to women.
Yeah, me too. It's
But
simple.
then like I have seen like there's one oak, this gay dude, who sometimes dressed up in drag and shit. But he showed me a photo of him like that, but me not realizing that I was actually like, this chick is quite pretty.
Got you, eh? Got
But it was
you.
a dude. The thing is, it's still pretty.
Ah, you was
Yeah.
But
testing
it's
me.
just I'm not attracted to that in a way. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's odd. Like
It's deceiving.
or even dudes, I can be like
It's
that's
deceiving.
a fucking good looking dude.
That's
Yeah,
But
so
I'm not
easy.
really thinking about it like
in a
that.
sexual way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just think that whole scenario just makes me uncomfortable because it's like you're deceiving me.
Mm.
So even if
Yeah.
like I'm like with like a guy that looks like a chick, and then I'm like,
Dude, they
You
need
know,
to tell
vibing.
you before you touch them, like touch them
Yeah.
or anything, you know? They need to be
Right.
like, hey, by the way, I'm a fucking guy.
but even
Otherwise,
then
they'll
I
also
still
fuck
feel
up.
deceived.
But also the thing is like
Still
that's a weird
deceived.
one for me as well because I somewhat identify myself as a being
Yeah,
before I'd be like a male or white or this or that. I'm firstly a being.
yeah. But you
So-
still are all of
So
those
that's
other things as well.
Yeah, I am still those things, but I don't specifically think of them when I show up somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't specifically feel like do I have to state that hey I like women.
No, you don't.
Like
yeah.
or
here's the
I'm a
thing.
man. Do I have to be like I'm a man? Like it's confusing as well in that aspect too.
The thing is, like, you look
No.
like a guy, you know, so you don't have to worry. But if you go and you dress like a girl, then you should know that people might think you're a girl and then mention it. But there's no reason for them to think you're a girl now because you look like a guy. So you don't have to tell it to them because they can figure it out by themselves. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also in general, like, how does one that's not like like that educated in those fields interact with those things where some people would like somewhat specific answers to how they like how you mention them, or
What do you mean?
like instead of he, she, it's them, or
Yeah, well,
like it's confusing for some people.
So here's the thing, like,
haven't explored it a lot.
like here's the thing: if you accidentally call them the wrong pronoun, that's fine. Like you didn't do it on purpose. But if they then say, "Hey, I like to be called a she," then like out of respect, do it. Yeah, but if you make a mistake and they're like, "Oh, you're a fucking
That's
inconsiderate prick," you tell them to fuck off because like you didn't know.
That's also just someone with attitude.
Yeah, that's just
everything's about intent.
Yeah,
intent is very important.
Amen. Yeah.
Which is why people confuse like racism and everything.
Yeah.
You always look at the intent.
Yeah.
What was the intent? Purpose. But yeah, people can be very ignorant of racial things.
But even some people don't know. I've heard about some things where some people are just like they grow up in white communities where you've never seen a black guy or
it's like oblivious. You can't even say it.
You don't have
even understand
exposure to other cultures, dude. Like even for me, like with this whole other thing, dude. Only when I went to college, I actually had experience with like people who dressed up and gay people and this and that. They're actually really nice people. I got along with some of them, dude. But like before that, I wasn't exposed at all to it. In Benoni High, there wasn't much of that happening at all.
Yeah. I actually
even with me
too.
You don't really see it in high school.
But that's the thing is, I didn't know what it was. I still don't know what it is.
But the thing is,
I know a few people that do their thing, but like I still don't know what it all is.
Yeah.
Like
for me, it's not really such a big thing. It's just like I meet people, and then it's like, oh, he's gay, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like,
it's
just a process.
Like I've had lots of gay people hit on me. I'm that kind of guy. Yeah. I get hit on by gays. It's just what happens.
Yeah. They think
they like
it.
They like the blue eyes.
Blue eyes are a weakness. Dude.
And the blonde hair.
Well, like for me, dude, also like with chicks with blue eyes.
Yes.
Dude, I'm not, dude. If I see blue eyes, dude.
You're in it, eh?
I'm in it, dude. Yeah, dude, fuck. I love blue eyes, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What other topics we got here? What do we miss? Who's it? Mary.
Afterlife.
Kind of did that one.
No, we didn't.
A little bit.
Yeah, we kind of drifted off into the universe.
No, we were saying that like the universe is a loop, but is there like maybe a way of exiting the loop and like existing?
Do you believe in reincarnation?
I believe that like you can reincarnate, and then like when you're done, you're done. You know, when you reach your final form, then you stop and you go to the next place. The one of your
no.
Wow.
I believe it's not reincarnation, but it's almost similar. It's like I'm living my parents' life as well as me, you know? So isn't that kind of reincarnation? But it's not directly the definition.
No, that's not reincarnation. That's just
reincarnation is you somewhat being reborn into.
It's like your spirit becomes a new thing.
But I'm a strong believer in that, though. But I believe like I was there in the past and I'll be there in the future. Like,
sometimes I thought that all my lives happened all at once. Well, this is when I was thinking about the reincarnation thing, okay? Mm-hmm. And that everything I ate or killed or whatever was me in that form.
Yeah, like all is one sort of a thing.
And because everything I eat and consume then is me, then it'll be like karma because I'm on both ends.
Yeah.
But your body turns what you eat into like you. You know, like what you eat is not you until your body's turned it into like your fucking soul.
No.
Yeah.
I was that cow.
Maybe.
But then how do you separate? Because if multiple people eat the cow, then how can I be that one cow? Am I maybe multiple people in that? You know what? Then that can be a bit complicated.
Deep, yeah.
You know? But maybe I'm only certain souls of certain things that I've killed. So for instance, like the buck that I've shot, or insects, or a mouse, or things, you know?
Yeah.
or even like pets. You never think about pets.
What about them?
What if that's you as a pet?
No,
What if
you.
that's you as a pet?
But you are you. You know.
Yeah. The thing is, like, the way I see a lot of
Yes,
this is
sir.
like, I am I, you are you, but we are we. So we are we is the answer to that bigger question. But individually, we are still in these forms. We are not us because we are individuals. Because we are separated at this point.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Like there's something that
But us
connects
does
us.
exist. Strong.
There's something that connects us, but we also exist as like separate things to each
Yeah.
other. You know. Like we're connected, like by this room and the air and all that shit. But like we are also our own 3 souls.
Yeah. As well as whatever ants may be in this room or other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's one confusing thing for me with walls and things as well. Weirdly enough. Because after that astral projection, I could see walls around the room I was in. But beyond that room, there was no wall.
See, you know what I
So
think?
I don't know if it was my mind knowing that the walls were in that room. And then beyond that, there was no material, but there was somewhat a representation of it. But it was alive, which is even weirder. But only in that room.
I think it's like your spirit left your body, and then your mind was like interpreting what your spirit was experiencing.
Yeah,
Like, you know.
possibly something like that. Yeah.
And
But
it's like if that can happen, then it's like maybe when you die and your body dies, your spirit leaves, goes to another place, and then you reform in a new like afterlife body. You
Yeah.
know? Like if there's an afterlife.
Yeah.
You know, like in like it reforms in material that isn't gonna fucking die like our bodies here.
Yeah.
You know, material that's like strong enough to like persist forever.
Well, like
You know, that's a
the
hope.
whole energy in the body changes.
Yeah.
Is one of the best explanations for something like that.
Like matter and energy are the same thing. It's just like in different forms.
Yeah.
But like,
The one is like the interaction of one is like a physical representation of it maybe. I don't know actually how to separate them. So would you be amped if you came back as a doggo? Or you're one of your pets too? Or if you were?
no, I wouldn't.
Why?
Because I want to be like living in this body.
Yeah.
If I come back.
What do you like being human?
I think I would
I like
appreciate
being
the
this
life.
specific version of myself, you know.
Oh, wait,
Like it's
fine.
like if I've reincarnated in the
Yeah.
past, I feel like this is my like final form. And like if there's like an afterlife, I'd like to, if I can exist in this way, in that afterlife.
Oh, so this is like sort of your being that you'd like to travel with to the rest of the universe.
Yeah. And all the rest of
Like
that.
you find your transport, bro.
To the next dimension.
Oh, wait.
with this. Yeah. From
Fuck yes, dude.
I mean, if we end up figuring out how to live forever, do we break that whole system?
I can say arguably we're already eternal. If we are us, we are eternal. So we could try live in this form forever in a way, or this form could carry. Like we could be like this body could just be the body, but the actual like I don't know. The way I'd see it is somewhat we're encapsulated energy in the body, but whatever's inside there is still you. So that thing can move beyond. So you can still take that with you, not specifically your body, but yourself. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah. But no, there's plenty of ways to move around. So death is another one to think about altogether though. But are you guys like scared of death or not really?
No, I used to be.
No, you're chilling.
I think if I see death coming, I'll be scared.
But if
Yeah.
it's like surprise motherfucker, you'll be like, oh wait, cool.
Yeah, Yeah.
Mm.
I'll feel more sorry for the people who are left behind, especially if I die before my parents. That'll be quite rough. I'll think about that.
No, that is a hard one to experience.
Yeah. That's a
for
rough
them,
one.
I'm sure, yeah.
Also, like friends around me, people don't think about that, but it affects people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the way I think about it is like it's almost like I've died almost 1,000 times, but in this reality, I'm just that close to death that it's just I didn't die that time. I actually, when I climbed up the ladder, I didn't fall and crack my skull and die that time.
You managed to just make it up there and chill out, check out the view.
Yeah, and that's the time that I didn't die. Because in that way, it's kind of like a weird trick. Because then it's like, well, do whatever you need to do, even if it's dangerous, you'll live. But if you do the stupidest shit and it's in this reality, you might die from it, so it doesn't matter.
Mm.
Yeah.
With that, would you be dead?
But you will somewhat continue.
Then I won't be scared. Because then think how many deaths I've actually missed. This is free time, Cole.
Yeah.
But you don't understand. This is free time.
Yeah.
It's like I got 3 years now, free time. I was supposed to die back then. That car crash of fucking 2017.
Yeah. That's the thing is, but the
Maybe
could be a
not.
reason why
Maybe.
you didn't at that time.
Yeah. I think I'm here to support people.
Yeah.
Support someone.
What you say? You think you're just here to have people's backs now?
Yeah.
That's just to chill out, dude. Fuck you.
I don't do it for me, I do it for you.
Yeah.
I can roll with that, dude.
It's like outfits or costumes. Like you do it for other people to look at you. I even got a tattoo on my back. I've never seen it in the flesh. I've never seen it.
Not even with a mirror.
I've seen it like that.
But no,
In
but
the
you mean
flesh.
like you can't turn around your head around and look
I've
down.
never seen it, so I do it for
Yeah.
other people. So yeah.
Hmm.
What other things?
But also with that role thing, do you feel like you somewhat like maneuver around the different situations in
With
different states?
in different states? With regards to what? Moving around?
Like wearing different.
I just like it. It's a lot of fun. I can be like a cowboy, do like cowboy moves. And then like I like to see like people's reactions
Yeah.
off of that.
Yeah.
I like watching people. Like I like doing some weird
I've
shit.
seen you
in
as a
public.
cowboy though, but I've never actually heard of
You know,
as a-
'cause for me- Like breaking the loop is very important, because what happens is you live your daily lives. It's Monday to Friday, and you do a habit, and those days aren't days because they're just and then you don't live. So I'm like, well, I can break the loop by doing weird shit in public, and I can bring someone into my loop, like break them out of it by doing weird shit. And it doesn't hurt anybody, and people might look at you weird, but
You
hey,
just dressed up as a cowboy.
maybe, yeah,
Yes.
break the loop. Like even I
That's
wanted
a-
to do
that's
some
a
crazy
different way
shit,
of thinking.
crazy shit. Like I saw these one guys, they dressed up as fish, and then in the marathon they were at the front, and then when the marathon started, they ran the opposite way, like a fish up river. It's like weird shit.
That's
like
cool.
You know, like, cause fuck, the loop's
You have
bad,
to suddenly
man.
break the pattern, dude. Like just be like, hey.
Yeah, and you bring everybody else in, and for that little 1 second, like people like, you know, like fuck, what is actually going on?
Just take a moment to breathe and be like, what's
Mm.
popping out here?
I also notice I'm focusing more on, especially with the cashiers and everything at the spa or whatever, focusing on making eye contact, and I don't fucking leave until I make eye contact. And you'll be surprised how like guarded they are, because they're just like they don't make eye contact, and then you'll
It
see
must
like they'll
awkward
be like,
in a job
hey,
like that, though, hey,
and
to
then-
make
then
eye
they-
contact with everyone of
Mm.
all different energies the whole day,
mm.
and you got to eye contact them no matter what they've done. Dude.
Yeah, and I say like, hey, how are you? And then they don't look, and then I like look at them, and I make like another gesture, and then they look and say, and I do like a. This is the mouth is fucked. You can't see people's mouths,
Yeah, with COVID, it's weird.
so the communication barrier is gone a
Yeah,
bit weird.
it is very weird. Like I can see some people smile with their eyes still,
Yeah,
Which is
but
what
sometimes you
Yeah.
can't.
but yeah, a lot of people don't have that ability or aren't.
Or they like have different expressions besides smiling, you know,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
when you can't see it.
Some people are just chilling out, dude.
You know, the mask
Mm.
hides a lot, and like the face displays a crazy amount of information. So
Yeah.
like our brains are literally, like they are like designed to like pick up faces and facial features. Like when you look at a face, it takes like a large amount of brain power in your brain if like you scan it, because there's so much information that the brain takes from the face.
Yeah. Because it is one of our most exposed body parts.
Mm.
Yeah, and
But
yeah,
if you look right now, it's what's exposed, bro. I'm in a hoodie. You just check a face, like.
Yeah.
Because it is one of the things that people see the most, and now COVID, it is very blocked off.
yeah, face and like hands, they communicate a lot of information.
Yeah.
It's
Now
like,
you gotta
that's why
watch
when you
both.
take
And
psychedelics,
hard the other
when you
one.
take psychedelics, you like often see like, or sometimes you see like faces in things, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, because your brain's like looking for
I
faces.
see that in rocks all the time.
Yeah, that is
I've got
actually.
hundreds of photos of rocks that look like faces.
Yeah.
Just from when I'm on hikes and I'm like, that shit looks like a face, dude. Dead sober, just chilling, and I'm like, yo.
The
But there's
face.
also some angles, dude, because I've checked it out before, and like some things at some angles, like, may suddenly look like something, and then when you walk a little bit around it, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or something like that. Like all of a sudden it can change so quickly. That like small little thing, and then even explaining it to someone, what you're seeing in the rock, that's like so many different textures, is an odd one. Like even Tristan, he looked at me sometimes. Like he's a man that likes nature and shit, but he looked at me sometimes being
What the fuck?
like,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's also like looking at clouds in a way, and like finding different, somewhat, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clouds can be
big
fun.
pictures in the clouds.
And you
yeah.
say, hey, that's a that. And the oak will be like, no, bro.
Yeah,
What the
the
fuck
fucking
is
rabbit.
Yeah.
Can't you clearly see the ears?
Yeah.
And you look, and you're like, oh fuck, there's the ears.
Yeah. Are you guys keen to cut this here? Or do you guys want to
Yeah.
carry on going?
I'm keen
Yeah.
to cut because I'm hungry.
I'm as angry as.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Get some chow, bro.
Yeah.
Let's cut it.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Cut the
Good,
cord.
Then
good
it's,
chat.
then it's cut.
Bye.